Nothing that anyone says is going to prove to me otherwise. The faces don't match. It's just obvious once you actually take a look at the noses, the eyebrows, and the shape of their heads overall. And I don't understand what the problem is with Mary Jane's appearance. There are always two sides to every story. Legally, these developers and these employees are likely not allowed to address why a design doesn't look as intended, but more often than not it either comes down to inexperience, the people in charge of designing or refining the model don't have the necessary skills to make advanced tweaks to the model. It can also be technical limitations, or the developer has to get used to a new engine. But Insomniac Games has reiterated this is the same engine and the same team. So in this case, it's probably not it. So, my most likely scenario is that they gave a programmer a chance that they probably shouldn't have. And you'll often see comments online such as, "Japan never does this, it's always the West that does it." And I go, what are you talking about? Japan has design flaws too. They have mistakes too. The propagandists just don't bother to look for them, or they don't want you to know there are some visual blunders after all. They're not interested in the truth. They're interested in being CNN Junior and having the power to control narratives and people. There's nothing they hate more than free thinkers, which I consider myself. I might not like the politics of some Western game companies, but at the same time, it's wrong to accuse them of things they haven't done. So in this video, I'm going to turn the bad faith against the propagandists. I'm going to seek out several instances of females from Japanese games from as early as 2019. Geeta. Geeta is from Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I'm just not a fan of this design. I do understand that she's supposed to have an Indian descent. That's not a problem. There could have been better decision made when it came to her face, because it looks like a man. The eyebrows could be smaller. The eyes could be smaller, or at least a different shape. And the nose could have been shaped differently. It just looks like a male nose than an Indian nose. Her body also looks very questionable. She looks like she has men's legs. Not pants, legs. Just weird design choice all around. Even Indian Kyle from South Park looks more feminine than Geeta. Viola. Viola is from Bayonetta 3. Oh my god. She looks very unflattering. Her makeup is an odd choice and the amount of glow on her face makes it look like she's from a PS3 game. It just looks like she has a super oily face. I get that this is a Switch game, but the Switch is the only platform this game is available on, so I think there was a better way to improve the game's visuals. I mean, if Mary Jane isn't supposed to be beautiful, then what about Viola? Why does Platinum Games get a pass? She looks just like an SJW tomboy that the Millennium activists always complain about. Various female characters from Phantasy Star Online 2, New Genesis. Sega has a very Sega way of doing things. Phantasy Star Online 2, New Genesis is a game I have actually reviewed on this channel and I play it to this very day. But I can't get around how dull and lifeless a lot of the faces look from a number of female NPCs. There's Aina, there's Manon, and then background characters like Rosa and Rand. The lack of detail and personality in their faces make them look like collector toys. And maybe that was their intention, but it seems like the faces were just picked from the number of templates rather than unique faces. Yeah, Rand could look a lot better here. Various female characters from Forspoken. There are countless female characters in this game that look exactly the ways as Mary Jane, Tanya, and the Fable protagonist. Everything that the propagandists complain about those characters can be found in these characters. The saving grace for all these characters is that it's a Japanese game. In the eyes of the propagandists, that automatically makes it good, that automatically makes it right, that automatically makes it perfectly acceptable, that automatically absolves them of scrutiny and controversy. They can do absolutely no wrong. Trish. Trish is a recurring character in the Devil May Cry series, and this is from Devil May Cry 5. This game does use face models, and hers is from a model named Ariana Diamond. The execution is very rough and needs a lot of improvement because here she looks like the Lizard Queen. If more time was taken to refine the face, or if the person in charge knew how to work with this better, then it could look better. But of course, the bad faith actors will disagree. This is 10 out of 10 and I need to be re-educated. Chun-Li. Chun-Li is a recurring Street Fighter character, but this iteration is from Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Now, unlike all these other faces, this one actually got the attention of the gaming media. It looked like a face that belonged to a little girl. What makes this weird, though, is that this game recycled a lot of content from Marvel vs. Capcom 3, so this new face didn't even have to exist. I will give them credit, but they did improve the game by the time the game released. So this Chun-Li was from a demo of the game. But since we're in the business of criticizing unfinished games, it's only fair that I still include her here. And last, but not least, Elephant Peach and Elephant Daisy. If you want to make a female character look as unappealing as possible, what better way than to turn her into a literal elephant? But no. Not even that is enough to get the attention of the quote anti-woke media. You know what they would rather put their energy in? The Princess Peach Showtime North American box art. This is apparently political. It is not political. Nintendo makes changes to regional box art. They have done so for decades. They used to change Kirby's face on many different covers. Because they understand the American audience. Cute and kawaii are niche in America. Cute and kawaii is going to scare a lot of potential consumers away. The opposite is true in Japan. Gritty is going to scare a lot of Japanese consumers away. It's not rocket science, and the fact that these grifters want to automatically inject politics into it shows they don't care about facts. They care about trying to fight culture wars. So here's one additional comparison for you. Here's Danny Trejo from Crime Boss, Rocky City. Western game. And now here's Danny Trejo from Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, also known as Yakuza 8. Made by Sega. Needless to say, this looks nothing at all like Danny Trejo. It looks like Heihachi and Vito Corleone. And more shiny oily skin. Completely falls on blind eyes. So, let's hear the excuses. We know West bad and Japan good, but why?